wanted to ask a couple questions just about the Farm Bill and try to see if we can dumb it down for my listeners, if you will. Just sort of, what do you tell people that maybe aren't farmers? How does the Farm Bill affect them? Why should they care about the Farm Bill?
The Farm Bill gives farmers and those who provide the credit to allow people to farm the assurance that there will always be market opportunities and a safety net if Mother Nature doesn't cooperate. The benefit to the country from that is in an agriculture that's the most productive and efficient in the world, which allows us as a nation to be food secure. We basically grow all we need to feed ourselves, which gives us an enormous national security advantage. So that, first and foremost, that's a good reason why people ought to be interested in a Farm Bill. Secondly, the Farm Bill also encourages employment opportunities. 1 out of every 12 jobs in the country is connected to agriculture in one form or another. So if there is progress in agriculture, record incomes and record exports as we've recently seen, then that means more people are going to be employed. And those people who have jobs connected to agriculture should be very concerned about making sure we get a Farm Bill. And then finally, you know, there are families that struggle during periods of time working a part-time job or full-time job that just doesn't make enough to make ends meet. This provides another degree of a safety net for those struggling working families. 92% of those receiving SNAP benefits are either senior citizens, people on disability, or working families. It's not really a welfare program, and I think a lot of people don't understand that. So when you look at the totality of the job creating and the economic impact, the national security impact, the food security impact, and the fact that it helps struggling families during a tough time, you understand the significance of it to the entire country.
Yeah, I mean, it's more than just a farm bill per se.
It's a food, farm, and jobs bill, and it's one of the most important pieces of legislation for rural America. And rural America is a great provider, not just of food, fuel, and fiber, but it also provides a disproportionate number of our military. 16% of America's population live in these rural areas, but 40% of the military comes from those rural areas. So we have to keep repopulating rural America so that we continue to have people willing to serve.
Let's sort of talk about the drought as well. I know we've kind of seen how it played out here in Ohio, but overall, nationally, how has the drought impacted farmers?
Well, certainly a tough time for anybody who's in the farming business if you don't have Mother Nature cooperating with you. But we are a resilient bunch in this country, and certainly the most resilient are American producers and farmers. Fortunately, this is different than 1988, the last time we had sort of a nationwide drought, because the technology is better, the techniques are better, and we have crop insurance. The technologies and techniques really will result in us having far more yield than we would anticipate, given the depth and severity of the drought. And the crop insurance basically now provides a protection for 85% of the producers who purchased crop insurance in 1988, only 25%. Having said that, there are probably 3 classifications of farmers that need help. The livestock industry obviously doesn't have crop insurance, and the disaster programs that did help it expired last year and have not been resumed by Congress. The dairy industry in particular is hurt because of the way their support structure is declining. And then there are specialty crop producers, some of whom are in Ohio here, who grow fruits and vegetables. They too have limited assistance. So a combination of those 3 groups are in need of a food, farm, and jobs bill that also includes a resumption of disaster programs and a new structure for dairy that will make dairy a little bit more stable.
On the Farm Bill, are you confident this will get passed in time, or what happens if it doesn't?
Well, your question says in time. That's sort of in perpetuity here. So I'm confident it's going to get done. You know, the reality is it needs to get done, should have gotten done, and ought to be done before September 30th to avoid any kind of unnecessary disruption of programs like CRP or our trade promotion programs or the assistance for the livestock and dairy folks. If it doesn't basically get extended, you've got disaster issues that arise, you've got trade promotion that stops, you've got CRP signups that stop, you've got the uncertainty for crop producers in the spring. How do I convince my banker I'm going to have the safety net to assure that banker that he can feel confident giving me hundreds of thousands of dollars to put a crop in the ground? So it creates a lot of uncertainty. And the tragic thing is we've got momentum built in rural areas, record farm income, record exports, record acres enrolled in conservation, record expansion of local and regional food systems, record bio-based product and biofuel production, all of that helping to create record farm income and declining unemployment in rural areas. Why would you want to stop that momentum? So we're going to continue to push Congress to do two things: get that 5-year bill done, and within that 5-year bill, make sure that you've got adequate support for those livestock, dairy, and specialty crop producers who don't have the benefit of crop insurance.